I remember when I first got to Oxford University, I felt really massively like a fish out of water. The first person I spoke to, they laughed in my face and told me that, I remind them of Ali G. So I kind of stuck out there in terms of where I was coming from, the way I spoke, the way I dressed, The place that you feel that you stick out the most is the place where you should stick it out and stay. Because that's where you can contribute something new and something fresh. And it's gonna be hard, sometimes it's gonna be really lonely, and it was. But I stuck it out and I was able to kind of offer something different there. It's
Say something. Come on.
Rogue? Rogue One. I was always quite a restless kid. I guess I was a class clown. A certain teacher took me to one side and said, look, you can either continue to get thrown out of the classroom for messing around and cracking jokes and playing to the crowd, or you can do that on stage where you get a round of applause for it and you won't get into so much trouble. It felt like something I just had to get out of my system rather than identifying a talent and picking a career.
It looks like I killed her, I know that. That's how it looks.
Don't talk to anybody anymore. Shut it.
John Turturro definitely took me under his wing when we were filming The Night Of. And something I really worry about right now is we're kind of seeing a kind of slashing of lots of funding for universities and community centres, and people are missing out on mentors. I'll find the most experienced actor on set and I'll say, look, step in. If you see me doing something dumb, tell me. And I think a lot of people have a lot of pride that stops them from doing that, but I love getting criticism. All I do is criticise myself all day, so.
Well, I'm one of the instructors.
When I was starting out, I was very eager to keep my acting and my music separate and kind of try and build whatever reputation I could on its own merits. And I feel like I managed to do that to some extent, and so now that they're both at a certain level, I think it's inevitable that people hear about the other thing that you do. I think we need to stop talking about diversity and instead talk about representation, because diversity sounds like a little added extra. It's a little frill, it's a luxury, whereas representation is something quite fundamental that we all expect from our politics and from our culture and from our stories. I think it kind of just reframes the urgency of this conversation. Everyone wants to feel seen and heard and valued.
How you like that one?
I think a lot of creative people feel like they are insider outsiders. They're people who have windows into certain worlds but don't necessarily feel like they belong, so they can comment on it. It's interesting now as I kind of find myself in certain circles, I can start to feel claustrophobic if I'm part of a scene. And now it's nice to feel embraced by a creative community for sure.